Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's news leader.
Powerful storms pummeled much of the eastern U.S. yesterday. I'm Laura Podesta with more on how one community spent the night on edge as rising floodwaters threatened to burst right through a local dam.
For cancer patients, getting to medical appointments could be a matter of life and death. I'm Chris Martinez with how the American Cancer Society is making sure thousands of patients always have a ride.
Well, on that story in just a moment. Meantime, 6:30, the weather topping this half hour. Powerful summer storms continue to pound much of the eastern United States. Last night, the storms even led to a rare tornado warning being issued for New York City.
In Lynchburg, Virginia, floodwaters prompted evacuations ahead of what officials call an imminent failure of a dam. CBS's Laura Podesta has more.
For residents of Lynchburg, Virginia, it was a night of high anxiety and rising floodwaters. After days of severe storms, the College Lake Dam north of the city is said to be in danger of failing. The news prompted the area to be evacuated last night.
Our rescue boats here, and they have been searching around the apartments, as you can see behind me, and they have right now, in my latest count, they've gotten about 10 people out. And they're still getting some more folks out.
Authorities are closely monitoring the dam for any sign of structural failure. Fears that it would collapse came at the end of a day in which as much as 6 inches of rain fell in the area. The dam isn't the only danger.
There could be storm drain covers that are off. You know, there could be any number of hazards. The road could have washed away. You just don't know.
The National Weather Service has confirmed that a tornado touched down about 70 miles northeast of Lynchburg in Charlottesville. It toppled trees and damaged the roof of a high school. Fortunately, no one was injured. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
Now, if the Lynchburg Dam were to fail, parts of the city would be swamped by a 17-foot wall of water for at least 7 minutes.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. So we'll continue to monitor that. More updates coming at 7 o'clock on CBS This Morning.
That's right.
We're not seeing that kind of weather, fortunately, around here, Carson. It doesn't look like we're going to see it anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, when Matt Elbow leaves, I mean, we have all sorts of wildfires in the west, and then dams are breaking in the east. But, right. I mean, our weather is relatively nice compared to what they're dealing with.
For sure.
So, yeah, it's an interesting combination. This was sent in from Cynthia. We had a little bit of haze in the skies, and you can sort of see it there with the sun trying to go through those clouds there, and then that's over the Gallatin River. So a beautiful shot. And with a lot of smoke over the last couple of days, we're watching our air quality very carefully over Bozeman, Butte, Dillon, and West Yellowstone, all at moderate this morning. But, you know, certainly we're going to have to watch very carefully for that. And our fire danger here, we're certainly not out of the woods yet for this fire season. Through midnight Saturday, we do have a red flag warning out for the majority of the state. So we're going to have to watch that very carefully. Dry thunderstorms and gusty winds could enhance that fire danger. Bozeman planner temperatures in the 50s to start out, but we will struggle to get out of the 70s today with a few afternoon showers and thunderstorms possible. And then Butte, a little bit of haze there on our iCam shot. 45 is the current reading, and then highs will be in the upper 70s. We'll talk a little more about that fire risk and what our weekend rain chances are looking like. That's all coming up in Montana This Morning. Chet and Missy.
Thank you, Carson. 6:34 now. Bozeman community stepping up to support Gallatin County Sheriff Deputy Jim Anderson and his family following last weekend's fatal boating accident. That accident Friday night near Livingston took the life of Jim's wife, Angie, and their teenage son, James, is still missing. Gallatin County Sheriff's Office has set up a GoFundMe page for the Anderson family, help with expenses. Yesterday, Montana State President Waded Cruzado said Anderson's daughter, Nicole, has been gifted a full 4-year tuition, including room and board at MSU, where she will start as a freshman this fall. Meanwhile, in Park County, the search continues for James with the help of law enforcement and volunteers literally from across the state of Montana.
And we do have a link for that GoFundMe on our websites, KBZK and KXLF.com. And the city of Bozeman has come up with a special term for the August 6th throughout the 9th, planning this week. MTN's Badaris Bab reports on how residents' opinions are playing a part.
The state legislature calls it a growth policy. We find that is kind of an unusual term, so we really prefer the community plan. That's how we reference it. Makes more sense for most people, including us.
Senior city planner Tom Rogers says Bozeman has not updated its current community plan or growth policy since 2009. Much has changed since then.
We are the fastest growing micropolitan area in the country. What that means, and outside of percentages, is more than 1,500 people are moving to Bozeman every year. In addition to that, we're seeing incredible investment in the community through residential development, single household development, multifamily house development, and all the commercial that you see throughout the community.
Rogers says the update is in the beginning stages, and now the city is asking for community input.
You know, your voice does matter. If you're a community member, we want to hear from you. We want to hear your ideas. We want to understand your issues. And we all want this community to be a great place for everybody. So the more people that we have contributing to the conversation, stepping up, whether it's through email, whether it's coming to a commission meeting, whether it's participating in one of these events with regard to these plans, it's really important. And I can't stress that enough.
These listening sessions and an ice cream social will be held at various times during next week. In Bozeman, Medeiros Babb, MTN News.
You had me at Ice Cream Social. The city says these listening sessions are designed to get input from the community about what they envision for Bozeman's future and what it looks like. Specific time and dates of those events can be found at the city website.
Shifting gears just a little bit, while some say President Donald Trump looks to escalate trade war with China, Google might be trying to actually build bridges. The online news site The Intercept is reporting that Google is planning to return to the Chinese market with a censored search app.
Now, the tech giant was last in China in 2010 when it withdrew amid claims that it was being targeted by Chinese hackers. Now, this dominates the Chinese market, and its shares fell on rumors of the Google comeback. CNN's Charisse Pham has been following the story from Hong Kong.
Google has made no secret of its wish to get back into China. This is a lucrative market with hundreds of millions of internet users, and it is impossible for any big U.S. tech firm to ignore. So when The Intercept reported that Google would launch a version of its search engine in China that would block sensitive sites, it wasn't a big surprise. Google declined to comment on that report, saying it wouldn't comment on speculations about future plans. But if it does bring a censored version of its search engine to China, it wouldn't be the first time. Google launched a Chinese language version of its search engine back in 2006, one that complied with Beijing's strict censorship laws. It gave users filtered search results, but it still told users when information was removed from results. Now, I talked to a tech executive who was with Google when it launched in China, and he said, look, we were reminding people in China every single day that they were looking at filtered results, that the world was not what it seemed. Still, critics back then and now accused Google of compromising on its stance of a free and open internet in return for access to China's big market. Now, after a hacking attack, Google left China in 2010, saying it was no longer going to censor search results. And its main products, like YouTube and Gmail, they've also been blocked for almost a decade. But a few years ago, Google's parent company Alphabet changed its motto from "Don't be evil" to "Do the right thing." And from a business perspective, getting back into China is the right thing for Google. Advertising is still Google's main source of revenue, and 1 billion potential users, that's hard to ignore. But critics and human rights groups are already accusing Google of bending to China's will, saying the China of today is much more restricted than the China of 2006. It is more aggressive about tracking people, and it has, in the past, requested Western companies to hand over sensitive data. Google has said in the past that it wants to be in China to serve Chinese users. But the former head of free expression for Google in Asia told CNN, if its search engine returns to China, the reality is that Google will be serving the Chinese government. Charisse Pham, CNN, Hong Kong.
Switching gears entirely, for many cancer patients, getting to medical appointments could be a matter of life or death.
That's right. That's why the American Cancer Society runs a program providing free rides for patients. As CBS's Chris Martinez tells us, the program now getting a little extra lift.
Thank you. So we're going to walk to my car over there.
Twice a week, Albert Nanez travels about a half hour from home for his cancer treatments. He was diagnosed with multiple myeloma 2 years ago.
Multiple myeloma is a cancer of the blood inside the bone marrow of your bones.
Albert is unable to drive himself, so he relies on others to make sure he never misses a treatment. So he turned to the American Cancer Society's Road to Recovery, a program that pairs patients with volunteer drivers.
There are cancer patients needing rides every day.
Ryan Okita says the numbers show how vital that need is. Last year alone, Road to Recovery provided 340,000 rides nationwide for around 20,000 cancer patients to or from treatment, thanks to about 10,000 volunteer drivers.
Family members and friends aren't always available, so our Road to Recovery program really helps these cancer patients to get to treatment when there's no other way to get there.
Now the program is getting a boost thanks to Lyft. The ride-sharing company is providing rides for patients in 9 cities and New Jersey, with plans to expand. The American Cancer Society pays for the ride. Albert says without the help,
so I would have missed a lot of appointments.
One less worry as he continues his fight. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Burbank, California.
By the way, the American Cancer Society says they're always looking for volunteers to help with patient rides. If you're interested, you can sign up on their website at cancer.org. We're going to take a quick break here on Montana This Morning. We come back. Here's a look at a couple of stories we'll have after that break.
Even big restaurant chains are going beyond meat. I'm Kenneth Craig with a look at the high-tech burgers made in a lab.
Ahead on CBS This Morning, we're in Lynchburg, Virginia, where a potential dam failure is forcing people from their homes. If it breaks, the entire city could be under 17 feet of water in just 7 minutes. And rapper Drake takes the In My Feelings challenge to the next level in a new music video released overnight. The comedian behind the viral dance craze tells us how it all started. We'll see you at 7.